Welcome to Myths Unlocked, where we break down myths, legends, and history to find out what's true and what's pure fiction. I am your host, and today we're unraveling one of the most famous myths of all time, the story of the Minotaur. In this episode, we investigate where this half-man, half-bull creature came from, and why he was locked away in a maze. Is there a link to reality? Or is this just an ancient monster story? From divine intervention to untamed human ambition, we'll explore the twists and turns of the myth and uncover the deeper meaning hidden at its core. And trust me, this story has it all. Gods meddling in human affairs, impossible architecture, and a creature born of betrayal and tragedy. Stick around as we untangle the threads of this epic tale. But before we get to the essence of the story, let's set the stage. Our story begins on the island of Crete, ruled by King Minos, son of the god Zeus and a Phoenician princess called Europa. But according to the myth, he was not the only one vying for power. His brothers, Sarpedon and Rhadamanthys, also had their eyes on the throne. Minos refused to leave his fate to chance. He needed the favor of the gods. So he prayed to Poseidon, god of the sea, for a sign, a divine proof of his right to rule. The answer he received would change everything. Poseidon, ever theatrical, caused a magnificent white bull to rise majestically from the ocean, but there was only one condition. Minos must sacrifice the bull back to him. The Minoans saw this as undeniable proof of Minos' divine right to rule, and his claim to the throne was solidified. But things didn't go as planned, and here's where it gets complicated. The bull was so breathtakingly beautiful that Minos couldn't bring himself to sacrifice it. Enchanted by its majesty, he chose to keep it for himself. In its place, he sacrificed a lesser bull, foolishly believing that Poseidon wouldn't notice the deceit. Predictably, Poseidon was furious. As punishment, he cursed Minos' wife, Queen Pasiphae, to fall in love with the magnificent bull. Consumed by this unnatural desire, Pasiphae sought the help of Daedalus, the legendary inventor. She persuaded him to build a hollow wooden cow, a strange contraption designed to help her fulfill her disturbing obsession. From this union came the Minotaur, a terrifying creature, half man, half bull. Wild, violent, and uncontrollable, it became the living embodiment of the curse upon Minos and his family. Ashamed and terrified, Minos ordered Daedalus to construct the Labyrinth, a massive, inescapable maze to imprison the beast, far from the eyes of the world. Or so they hoped. Years later, as tensions between Athens and Crete reached a boiling point, Minos demanded annual tributes from Athens as penance for a past offense. Each year, 7 young men and 7 young women were sent to Crete, destined to be sacrificed to the Minotaur. This grim tradition continued, until Theseus, the prince of Athens, decided he'd had enough. He sailed to Crete as one of the tributes, vowing to slay the Minotaur and put an end to this brutal custom once and for all. But he wasn't alone. Ariadne, the daughter of King Minos, who had fallen in love with Theseus, offered her help. She gave him a ball of thread, a lifeline that would guide him back after facing the beast. With the thread tied securely at the entrance and around his waist, he ventured into the labyrinth, ready to confront his foe. Just picture this. You are in a labyrinth. The walls are cold, damp, and endless, twisting into darkness. The only sound is your own breathing, shaky and uneven. Then there's a noise, a distant scrape, like hooves dragging across stone. Another follows, louder this time, like the heartbeat of the maze itself. You freeze. The others are with you, but no one dares speak. The thuds grow louder, faster, closer. The ground beneath your feet seems to tremble. Suddenly, a roar shatters the silence, a sound so primal that it pierces straight to your core. "Run!" someone whispers, barely audible. You bolt, feet slipping against the smooth stone as you stumble blindly into the dark. Behind you, the guttural snarls grow louder. You don't need to look back. With every step, you can feel it drawing closer, a monster born of nightmares stalking you through its endless labyrinth. And then, you see it. The Minotaur, a half-man, half-bull creature of ancient Greek myth. A hulking beast, its massive human body rippling with muscle, crowned by the head of a bull. Wide and brutal, with gleaming, predatory eyes. Its thick, matted fur, streaked with dirt and sweat from countless days trapped in the labyrinth, bristles with every movement. Monstrous horns curve menacingly upward, poised to gore. The heavy thud of its hooves echoes through the maze, each step slow and deliberate. Its hot breath hisses in the air as it draws closer, closing in on you. Theseus was brave, though. Armed with the sword that Ariadne gave him, he entered the maze. He tracked the creature through the twisting corridors, patiently, calmly, stalking the beast. After a fierce battle, he defeated the monster with a well-placed blow, freeing Athens from its terrible curse. As a thank you, he took Ariadne with him when he fled Crete. But on the way home, he had to abandon her on the island of Naxos, and no amount of thread could lead her back. Theseus's story is a fascinating one, with trials, heroics, intrigue, and tragedy that deserves its own spotlight. If you would like to dive deeper into his legendary journey, check out the link below for our dedicated video on the hero of Athens. Now let's dive into what are the origins of the story. The Minotaur myth was passed down orally for centuries before being written. The earliest mention comes from Homer's Iliad in the 8th century BCE. Homer doesn't describe the Minotaur directly, but he references the labyrinth built by Daedalus. Later, the full story was recorded in the Bibliotheca, written by Pseudo-Apollodorus in the 1st or 2nd century BCE. This is one of the most detailed versions of the myth. Ovid, the Roman poet, also wrote about the Minotaur in his Metamorphoses, adding dramatic and poetic touches that helped solidify the myth as we know it today. So, we heard the story. Now, the big question. Could there be a shred of reality in the myth? After archaeologists uncovered the ruins of the Palace of Knossos in Crete, they were amazed to discover that the palace is massive and maze-like. Its sprawling corridors and interconnected rooms give it the feel of a labyrinth. To an outsider, it could easily resemble a maze. Many believe that this is what inspired the myth of the labyrinth. The palace is also known for its multi-level design, with grand staircases connecting different levels. The complexity of these staircases could resemble an entrance to an underground maze. Descending into these lower levels might have felt like venturing into the heart of the labyrinth. Bulls were also central to Minoan culture. In fact, frescoes from the Palace of Knossos vividly depict bull-leaping ceremonies, called tavrokathapsia. During these rituals, participants, often young men, would grasp the horns of a charging bull and vault over its back. This wasn't just a sport. It had deep religious and cultural significance. It was believed to demonstrate the power of the human spirit and the connection between humans and animals. These bull-leaping rituals were so important that they were featured in many Minoan artworks, showcasing the bull as a symbol of strength, vitality, and the divine. With such a strong cultural focus on bulls, it's easy to see how the idea of a half-bull creature, like the Minotaur, could emerge, blending these powerful animals with the mythological themes of the Minoans' world. In the end, the Minotaur myth is more than a monster story. It's a tale about courage, ingenuity, and overcoming impossible odds. It is a profound allegory woven with lessons about human nature, power, and the winding paths of the mind. At its heart, the story reflects the consequences of unchecked arrogance and moral compromise. King Minos, in refusing to honor his promise to Poseidon, sets into motion a series of events driven by his own hubris and vanity. His decision to keep the majestic white bull for himself demonstrates the dangers of prioritizing personal greed over responsibility, a theme that resonates throughout history. The Labyrinth, with its dark, twisting passages, serves as a metaphor for the human psyche and the challenges of confronting our inner fears. Just as a prisoner, lost within the labyrinth, succumbs to despair and confusion, we too wrestle with the complexities of our own minds, the doubts, insecurities, and struggles that can feel impossible to escape. The Minotaur itself could represent the destructive forces born from these inner conflicts. A creature of duality, it is both human and beast, symbolizing the balance between our rational and primal natures. The triumph of Theseus could be a message of hope and empowerment. By venturing into the labyrinth and slaying the Minotaur, he embodies the courage needed to confront and overcome the darkness within. With the help of Ariadne's thread, he demonstrates that while the path may be difficult, guidance, love, selflessness, and perseverance can lead us out of even the most daunting mazes. Ultimately, the myth of the Minotaur endures because it speaks to the universal human experience, our flaws, fears, and triumphs. It reminds us that while we may all face our own labyrinths, we also have the strength to find our way through.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep your legend alive and stay mythical.